Good evening, guys, and welcome to The Sim Show, episode 1, proudly sponsored by Prozone. Guys, welcome along. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this, really. A live kind of Gandhi's Thoughts type of show, saucy rants. So please forgive me if it's a little bit rough-winded. I've never done out like this, so it's gonna be an interesting one. And also, I've got a really, really bad cough, so I do apologise. I'll keep coughing all the time. But yeah, welcome along. So as the title says, I-49 roundup. We're going to have a look at Cup top 8, go through the team, stuff like that. Lions, Tigers and Snakes. We're going to have a look at some of the team changes that are going to be coming up and what's going to be happening towards EGL 11 stroke I-50 if we get it. Even if we get EGL 11 as well, we haven't heard nothing yet, so we'll see what that... the chat is working in the bottom, so if there's any problems, any sound, volume issues, anything like that, please drop a message. It's not really a live show as such. It's going to be made of a YouTube video where I upload it from here to YouTube. So it's the back to basics is more of a live thing. This is just making my life easier to record, that's all. So yeah, straight away, new show, sponsored by Prozone. I thank the guys there. Give them a follow. They're at Prozone Apparel. They do all the t-shirts for teams and things like that. Really, really high quality and really good quality stuff. Good set of lads there. So I'm going to be working with them. And hopefully they're going to be doing a few other things for the Halo community as well. So yeah, to start off then, I-49. Cracking event. I think we owe a massive thank you to all of the staff at Top Made who made it possible. It was a brilliant, brilliant event. As you can see on this side, I think it is. Yeah, it is, this side. All the sponsors there. We had Squid Grip, we had Astros, Console Deals, and Hapag. I think it's pronounced. I always get it wrong. But yeah, thanks to those guys for making an absolutely stunning event. I loved every minute of it, and I hope we do another one. It'd be really good to do another one. I think more than all, it kind of because it was run by ourselves. There were no intervention. I mean, EGL, I spoke to Loco and Mello, and if we get EGL 11, they've got big plans and they've got good things to make happen with it, and probably not by way of an apology, but they want Halo there. After speaking to them at EGL 10, they're a good set of lads, and they do want Halo there, to be honest. You know, it's not nothing against it. They're not just all COD, all COD, all COD. They do genuinely want Halo there, and they want us all to have a good time, so I've got faith in them that they're going to come up with something really good. And we should definitely do it. I think if it's going to be another split decision again, we'd have to look at if it's going to be like another month or so before EGL. If people are coming in from abroad, which I'll talk about later on, then we need to pick one to make one bigger than the other, I think. You know, we definitely all need to attend both of them as English and UK people, definitely. But, as such, if there's going to be a split where some can go to one and some can go to other, I'd like them all to pick one and go and make a massive one, drag it maybe 30 teams, because it's been a long time since I've seen something like 30 teams smashing the hell out of each other, and I'd love for something like that, but we do need to support both guys. Okay then, so on with the show. I think we're going to jump straight into the top 8. We're going to talk about things. Now, Trick pulled me the other day and he was quite right. He says, what did you know about the bottom two, so number 8 and number 7, and even number 6, the teams that seeded there? I didn't see much of what they actually did, so I think it's unfair to massively make comments and judgments on them. I can only go by what I heard and what I kind of saw, but what I saw of the bottom 2 wasn't a great deal. So we're going to jump straight in, I-49 then, your seed number 8, which was Mutiny. As you can see here, the guys, I think it was Trick, Belio, Belio, or what? Can't remember off the top of my head, I'm losing it to this show. Trunks and Blue 2. Yeah, good set of guys. A lot of problems, I think. I saw Trick were getting a little bit stressed and a little bit wound up and coming up to the event. Mousy left them not so long back. That went down well because he came below him, but nevertheless. Yeah, good set of lads. Trick's definitely focused, and I think I was speaking to Trick. It's been something like Trick and Trunks have been together for years now. And I definitely think they deserve to be in the top 8 because of how much hard work Trick put in pulling the team together and getting them to kind of where they needed to be, especially as a last-minute thing. But to be fair, it'd be nice to actually see them get, and I said this to Trick, it'd be nice for them to get that solid 4 and to start practicing. And later on, guys, you're going to see, I'm probably going to upset a load of people later on by what I've got to say. But it'll all fall together with what I'm going to do later on, which is the last topic, which you'll be calling me hashtag scumbag sims by the time I've finished with you. But I think it's something that's got to be said. It's for the good of the community, it's for the good of the Halo and European Halo as a teams and how we play and what we do and where we go with the future. I think, if you think about it, you'll appreciate what I say. But anyway, so yeah, number 18 there, Mutiny. again, if they want to progress, it's going to be down to Trick getting that solid 4 and sticking with it. Unfortunately, like I said before, he did have Mousy leave. There was a lot of upset. I saw him on Twitter getting quite wound up by losing games and things like that. But it's one of those things, practice makes perfect. If you're running new people, you're bound to lose a load of games before and things like that. Don't get yourself down, guys, especially Trick. He's a really, really good lad. I won't like to see him get himself down. Get that 4 and get practicing. Get yourself 2 more like yourself and Trunks and stick at it and work and work and work. Alright, so that's seed number 8. But just to break off, I did mention, got to say at the start of it, I do have that to give away. That is 800 Microsoft points plus 3 months gold membership. Probably not worth a great deal, 20, 30 quid, I don't know. But for everyone who RTs this show, when I put it up on YouTube, that is going out to the winner. Another thing on Trick as well, Trick will be taking my place for 2 weeks on Back to Basics as I go on holiday on Tuesday. So that's why I'm doing this video today, to get it out there beforehand. People can watch it. Hopefully get it on the top mid so people can watch it when they come back from America. So there's your seed number 8 then, Mutiny. Moving up to number 7, we have NNB. NNB, everyone did not expect to see Pinchy in the top 8, let alone 7. So congratulations to them. Again, I can't really comment or speculate because I didn't see any of their games, so it'd be really, really unfair to say so. I think they beat Mutiny, which I say is an upset. Maybe Mutiny should have, on paper, beaten them. I don't know. Again, with the bottom 2, for me to say anything is a little bit unfair because I didn't see any of the games or anything like that. John's a great guy, and he's just like Trick, that he wants to get a team. But I think with John, whenever he goes to an event, he seems to just go YOLO and just go for it. He's not asked of carrying on about losing, about raging, about sweating and things like that. John's just there for a laugh. And credit to Pinchy, he's been around in the woodworks for a long time now. He just wants to go there, have a crack, have a laugh, enjoy himself, and find away. And I had John on stream, and it were a pleasure to meet the guy. I've met him a few times, but he were really nice. He's a really, really funny guy and quite, he's a good lad. So well done to those for the 7th position. Again, I can't really say much. It's unfair to because I didn't see out. So moving up then to your seed number 6, we have Team ITF Epiphany, Mr. Slinky's team, who is in the chat, alongside Johnny 5, Sif, and Xavier. Now, this team, I only saw one game. In fact, did I? Definitely saw one game, and then I kept spitting back and forth and seeing bits and looking at people's stats and things like that. These guys came out on form. These came into 6th place. Placed higher than what I would have put them, to be honest. I mean, I expected them definitely to do top 8 without a shadow of a doubt, but I did not expect them to get 6th, to be honest. I really didn't. Bit of a shocker. But to be fair, the guys on that team did absolutely a cracking job. Really, really did a good job. Xavier got the Best Newcomer award because he just, day 1, didn't look too strong. A few people were saying, no more big plus 30s, plus 20s, not out your big 400 meg connection. But day 2, knuckled down, stuck at it, got his head stuck in, and we got the Xavier that we all know and love. Sif, again, another newcomer. He was probably, for me, close 2nd place to being the best newcomer because, again, he was another one who's on fire. The guy's sniping ability is second to none and absolutely unbelievably powerful. He's a powerhouse. I'm hearing, obviously, we all know that these guys have now broke up. Sif's going to be going to university. Whether he actually makes it and carries on again is another thing. I definitely think it's a talent that shouldn't be wasted within our community. He's definitely got some skill, and if he can stick at it. But obviously, university takes precedence. So whatever Sif does, good luck to the guy. But a cracking player will be good to see him at other events. I'm going to leave my man Johnny to the last. Harry again is no longer with these. Harry's, I think, FA Team of 1 looking for a new team now. Harry struggles to practice because of his connection online. He went down to Xavier's for about a week or so to practice beforehand. But even though his connection is absolutely crap, Harry came out on fire. Harry was, if I'm aware, slamming objective like an absolute mother, even though he is a bit of a Slayer King, to be fair. Maybe not in the best of places for him. But he did very well, and he helped ITF to where their position brought them out. Now, again, it'd have been nice to see, to be honest, Xavier and Harry's team of 2 because I thought they got on quite well. There were a lot of the game that I watched between them two, there were a lot of screen watching and quite a lot of personal interaction. I thought it was going to be more Johnny and Xavi, with them being quite friendly. That'd be the team of two. But for me, it didn't kind of look that way. It looked more like Harry and Xavi. But I don't know. It's one of those things, isn't it? Well, Harry's a strong candidate for any team that's looking for a good pickup. He really is. So a bit of a powerhouse when it comes to slating. His connection is giving him grief and shit, but I know he's going to university soon. Again, like Sith, and then he'll have a good broadband, and then he'll go from having a Lagstraft to being just a spongy warrior like Jimbo, for instance. So, good luck to Harry, definitely a good pickup for any team that's looking. Xavier, best newcomer award. I think, in fact, I've already spoken about Xavier, haven't we? Come to my man, Johnny 5. Johnny 5, EGL 9. I think it's 17, so top 24. Big mouth, big personality is Johnny. The attitude for him to get to top 6 had to change, and I think Johnny knew that. And he absolutely, congratulations to that man, because he absolutely nailed it this event. We all know Johnny for being, the one who likes to say his mind, and that's Johnny. He's never going to change. He's like that with our community. That's what he is. That is Johnny 5. No one will change him. I don't think anyone should try and change him, because that'll ruin the Johnny 5 that we know. But certainly in-game attitude and ability has just been an absolute turnaround completely. Absolute turnaround. The guy's worked wonders with himself, with his BR, with his mental. I think it's not his attitude, because that sounds bad. It's his mental game and his mental attitude more than anything. And that proved with the games. He was quiet, he was calm, he was collective, and it paid off. And he made top 8. Congratulations to that guy. I don't know what. I hope he really does find a new team that's got a suitable place for him. I don't know. I can't. I've tried sitting. I said this to Johnny in Skype the other night. I've tried sitting down and placing a few teams together from who's FA, and I just can't for life of me see who's going to be sat where. That all these free agents now, where they're going to be sitting for I-50 stroke EGL 11. I just can't. And at the moment, I'm struggling to place where Johnny's going to be. So it's going to be an interesting whether he wants to pick up. Do what he said he did here, pick up some new players and try and make something of it, or whether he wants, he can get on board with an already sorted team. I just don't know. It's Xavi, if you don't know, has joined, I think, X-Men with Creepy, Brandon and Mose. I'm pretty sure it's happened. So Slinky FA, Sith University, possible FA, but more than that University, Johnny FA. Interesting to see what happens next time, and whether Johnny will keep the ITF name, which I think he will do, that we spoke about last night. So good luck to them all for the future. Moving up then, to your seed 5. What did I hear the other day? I heard someone say, these boys, deception. They bought BYOC tickets and they thought it was bring your own connection. This all just went horribly wrong, and I'm disappointed. To be honest with you, I'm actually slightly annoyed and disappointed, because I spoke to both Matt, their manager, and these guys privately, and I've also said it before. I've said it plenty of times to them personally. I've said it on the shows more than all. Back to basics. The only one way that these guys would fail, point blank, the only way that they would fail is if people got in their heads. They're a bunch of young guys, and if people got in their heads, their asses would fall out. Look what happened. It was so. I'm really infuriated, because they knew what was going to happen more than anything. That's exactly what was going to happen, and it is annoying. They're all individually talented. Everyone calls Stu a warrior. Even I do it for fun of it, but. They're actually really, really good, talented guys. And I think it's unfair for people to sit there saying, oh, they failed, the crap. That they did this, they didn't do that, All right, yes, they choked. I'll go with that one. But you can't say that a team that's seeded 50 is crap, especially if you're below them. A lot of people below them saying, oh, they choked, the crap. The difference between crap and choking. The choking is that you're supposed to aim high and you didn't, because you failed slightly. Being crap, you wouldn't get a 5th position being crap. It's point blank impossible. There's people below them in the top 24, 16, 10 bracket that say no, they're garbage. They're not. They you can't keep saying things like that, because they're not. They're individually talented guys, but as and Jules just absolutely went to town on them, and I mean it. They literally just went to town on them. They really did. Jules did it to Stuart at EGL9, the Harry Potter and Hogwarts comments, and they did it again. And once they started, Deception took the first game off them, and I saw Jules' face, and I thought, hey, they're in trouble here, A4D. They're actually in trouble. I even heard our adversary getting up and shouting A4D pussies and stuff like that because they'd won the first game. And I just thought, they're going to do damage here. They really are. They're going to do a lot of damage to A4D. But that was it then. As pretty much just engaged Scottish beast mode. And Jules got the Jules train, came round with the tickets, and everyone had plastic, but he only accepted cash. So he booted them off, and he booted them hard, and they went with a bang. Disappointing to note these guys have now split up. Very disappointing. But it's just, I'm quite annoyed, to be honest with you, that they did this and let it happen, because they've got the potential and the skill to be an awesome team, and individually they're all awesomely skilled, but they just went to pot. Brandon and Mose had played their skins out. They did absolutely fantastic. So credit to those guys. But adversary had some poor games. Some really, really poor games. I did see a neg 18 floating around. And Stu just sat there. And I was looking at him thinking, Stu, what are you doing? He just wasn't speaking to anybody. I don't know if he was scared of the size of Jules and Az just peering over to him, verbally abusing them, or what, but it just didn't go bad. But I've got a lot of respect for these guys, and I'm quite upset that one, that they've given in so easily after the first run, and two, that they didn't heed my warning, and they knew what were coming. They really did, especially going up against A4D. You know what's coming, and I'm just disappointed. But Seed 5, nevertheless, they did well. They got there. It's whether we see what we see next, X-Men with two of them there on the end, Brandon and Mose. If we see good things out of them, then hallelujah, praise the Lord. Don't know what Stu's going to do. Again, kind of in the same boat as Slinky and J5. You need to see who's around and see what's going to happen. I'm pretty sure Adversary did post on Twitter that he had quick competitive Halo, so we'll see what happens there. Again, Adversary's a really nice guy and he's a naturally talented guy, but just went to crap, didn't it, really? There's no more we can say about it. Okay then, so moving up to the guys that pretty much crapped these towers down. Different photo there, as you can see. A4D, Buck 20 as Jules and Gaskin. Now, this team pretty much, they made the money bracket, so congratulations to them as co-presenter from Back to Base alongside Slinky. Yeah, they made the money. I think they set on a bit. The Jules train went off on a bit of a steamroller after it beat A4D. The hypes, they were all hyped up. They're all ready to go. Sketchy start. I couldn't understand what were going on when I was watching the game. I were really confused when they were playing. Oh God, what team were it now? May have been Existence, Animals team, whatever it was. I can't remember which one it was now. But yeah, when they were playing them, I think Az did an egg 16 against them, to be honest with you, in one of the games. And it took them so long to win that dispatch game. I just thought, are they playing here? Are they warming up? Can they be bothered? Are they struggling? It was hard to tell whether A4D was actually struggling against them. Couldn't be asked. Or were just taking the piss, basically. I couldn't tell for the life what it actually was. But they still won. And then when they played Deception first game, I thought, this is it. They're done for, and literally no, I couldn't have been more wrong. They got their heads in gear, they focused, they cracked down, and they went for it. Az and Jules, just two old dogs that have been here for many years, and they won't be going nowhere. Buck 20, I'm pretty sure, is not joining them at the moment, unconfirmed. Alex just pretty much, I don't want to say he ninjaed that team and did what ninjaed. How he helped Vibe at EGL9, but Alex pretty much just, me and Roy were watching him and he was absolutely going to town on kids, something chronic. He really was. And I spoke to Roy, and you can just tell how much pure raw talent is from one guy. It's just an animal. It really is. It really was. But these guys as well, they got 4th place, and they were probably the most unpracticed team at I-49. Az has been away and moved house and no broadband. Uh, Buck wasn't even playing. He kind of quit for a while because him and they got the jobs and the lives in gear. Jules has got a job and struggles to get a line away, and then Dan works and does all sorts of other things. So they actually had not much practice, to be honest. So to get a fourth place on an unpracticed team with a pickup because Valadan left a week before the event is an absolutely astonishing achievement. So congratulations to those on the fourth place. Depends who they're going to pick up next. I know Valadan's snooping around again. Whether he gets back with them or not, I don't know. Valadan is an FA, as far as I'm aware, is Mark. Should be interesting to see what happens if he goes with them or somebody else. Gaskin is going to be, I'd say, was the weakest player on that team, but simply because of time played. Basically, he's not been practicing. He's been away and doing other things, but he's an objective player. You give Gaskin a couple of months solid practice, and he'll be back to the old Gaskin that we saw, definitely. And these guys, if they get their heads together like everyone else, get a full 4 and start practicing, then they might actually even break the third place, second place bracket and challenge other people. But it's just who they can find to replace Buck 20, because Alex really was, Alex Will, I don't know, I can never remember, was the absolute powerhouse on that team, and he really helped them out to their success. So it'll be interesting to see who they pick up and where they go from here, but good luck to them. So, moving up into the most interesting team of all then, High Society. High Society seeded first before the tournament, went in #1 seed, ended up 3rd. Now, we already know and confirm that Eddie Mr. Reaction has left the team. Everyone's saying, oh, he's quit Halo. Now, I don't actually know if he's quit Halo completely. I don't think Eddie would quit, to be honest, by a 3rd place. I think if Eddie wants to quit, Eddie's not going to settle in a first place win. He's still chasing a first place from when he lost to Vibe at EGL 9. As we all know, Eddie's, I think Rami said he's won 9 titles. He's like one of the most achieved players in the UK, something daft. He wants a number 10, and if he's going to finish, I don't think he can finish there. He needs to finish on a bang. All these guys played out of their skins. Unfortunately, it really did show that practice can make perfect. These guys probably went in with the mind frame of, yes, they're all naturally talented players, probably some of the best in Europe, and they could cakewalk it. Now, unfortunately, Machine Gun Sheep really, really dropped them on their ass. Yes, they did take them to a game 5, so it was close, but I think it was a bit of an eye-opener for these guys. Now, I was speaking to them, and they 3-0'd Machine Gun Sheep at SciComm, and I actually think that this may have been the reason that they didn't take it seriously enough, that they thought they would walk all over Machine Gun Sheep. But MGS were not going out without a fight, and they were laying down the law. And I just think they came out all guns blazing. They were practiced. They knew what was going on. They were ready. They were there. I spoke to Botty on Skype beforehand, and he pretty much says, we're not walking away with any less than second, point blank. He was focused, ready to go, ready to do it, ready to kick some ass. And I think maybe HS just underestimated the power of practice and play time. Don't tell Warlord that with his 42, but that's another story. Sorry, Stu, couldn't help it. But, yeah, I think underestimated the amount of practice. Now, point to Eddie, he's got a new job, he's got a new missus, he's struggling to get time in, that's fine. Rami did an awful lot of negatives, but Rami is the playmaker, he's the captain, he's the leader, he makes the plays, he makes the calls, he calls the shots. Regardless of him going negative or not, HS won't be HS without Rami on there. It's going to be interesting to see what happens now. I've heard various different rumours from across the whole of the time of, first of all, we've heard that they're after Anima from Uprising. These are all just random rumours that are flying around, that everyone knows. There's also a rumour that Riots could be going to COD. I don't know if that one's true. I think if Riots goes, I think Rami and Chalky will just pack it in, to be honest with you, but I'm probably not going to be bothered to try and rebuild yet another team. Jake went and tried to do that with the old Rain EGL 9. Yes, he carried them to second. But he managed to get second. But whether they want to do that again, I don't know. These guys they're a #1 seeded team. They want to be, or there was at least, they want to be winning events. That's what they're there to do. That's what Warren sponsors them from HS to do. They're there to win events. Whether or not they can do this again or not, but I mean, if they got Anima on there in place of Rami, sorry, not in place of Rami, I do apologise, in place of Eddie, they could have a potentially winning team there because Anima is one of the most aggressive, if not the most aggressive players in Europe. But it's whether he wants to part ways with Gunnar and all the other people. There's probably nothing been said about it yet. I don't know what's going on and all the things, but there's going to be a team change there, and I think with Rami still as captain, Chalky and Riots Chalky went off at this event. He played out of his skin. Definitely one of the best players there. Massive contender for that MVP. He was incredible player. With alongside Riots, you've got a winning team. You've got the winning combination, but they need someone there who can put in that time and hours of practice and play. And they do that. And to be honest, I think you've got a win. That's all it needs to be. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to work. I don't think a few people in the chat saying Rami might be going. I don't know. No one knows yet. No one's heard out from them yet. We'll see what happens. I know the High Society team posted up a tweet saying that they'd be back stronger than ever, and I believe them. I believe that they could actually bounce back and maybe challenge first place again. It just depends who they pick up, and it just depends how much they practice. But never underestimate the power of practice and power of playing. But see what happens. See how it goes. Good luck to them. So, moving up to Levo, the French machine gun sheet. Now, these guys came to this event and they absolutely tore some arseholes wide open. I was so proud of it. Even better, the fact of the thing with the mass at the end. It was just incredible to watch them. They played really well. They upset quite a few teams, beating High Society for that second place for the final. It was madness. I couldn't believe it. They actually beat them, to be honest with you. And I can't believe probably even HS and many other people believe that they actually beat them. Excuse me. I don't know. Practice makes perfect, I suppose. They were a good team. They were solid. Renox and Cinder were just going off. I mean, going off. For those who don't know, Renox got the MVP award, and as you can see on the photo, he won himself a HD PBR. One game against, I think it was against Outbreak actually on Element. I think he did like a +16, +17 against Outbreak, and it's like, wow, you can't be throwing them kind of ratios when you're playing at top 3 level. I don't know who's at fault there. Renox for being an absolute god and going wild, or Outbreak for not shutting him down and letting him get away with it. You got to look at who's wrong and who's right there. But either way, he was just a beast, and Cinder was going off as well. Cinder had a lot of good games on that team. Definitely between them two. Kicked ass, took names, and took them back to France with them. But they did really well. Really proud of them. I hope they'll come over again. Obviously, they won the tickets initially. I do hope they'll come back here. They're going to be at Lannick shortly. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. It's going to be... I don't know too much about French teams and things like that, but all being well, they should at least win it. If they've come away from a second place here, then surely they should go back to their own country with a first. But I don't know the teams out there, so it's going to be interesting. I think there's KFR, which is Talik and Unwise, but I spoke to Botty, and he was convinced that they were probably the best French team there, which credit to them. If they are, they are. Good luck and enjoy Lannick, guys. Hopefully see you all back here very soon. So then we finally move on to the happiest bunch of guys at this tournament, Team Outbreak. Adamak, Jimbo, Snipe Drone and Smithy. Now, these guys, literally every single time I spoke to every single one of them, they all said point blank 3-0. 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. And what did they do? 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. Until the finals where they were 3-0 up because they went in, because they already beat them 3-0. They dropped 2 games. They dropped 2 games the entire tournament. Now, to do that says something. It really does. Everyone was on fire. Adamak had some games of his life. Jimbo is just an absolute beast. Snipe Drone making some plays like I've never seen before in my life. And Louis is Louis. Louis there to support everybody. Be the playmaker and be a beast. And he is. He's strong and he's aggressive and he has confidence in his own BR. These 4 boys are pretty much... They work together. They just work together. They're like, they're like strawberries and cream. You just put them together and they're just right. They fit together. They work well. They've jumped up places. to get the first event win, and they deserve it. Now, I've said to all of them that they all need to keep practicing. They don't need to slow up. They need to literally just focus down, keep practicing, keep at it, and don't take this for granted. Don't take the win for granted, thinking, oh yeah, that's it now, we can win another one. You can't do that. You've got to keep going, going and going, and all being well, just, you know, keep doing what you're doing, and you'll win another event, unless what happens, what I'm going to talk about later on. But they need to stay focused, carry on. Snipe drone, never seen a sniper like it, and his BR is unreal. It literally is. His sniping ability is incredible. Jimbo, he's got the FFA factor. He runs around like an absolute beast. Just been aggressive, been annoying, knocking crap out of people. Adam, the captain, there to give him all the big licks and there to tell him what to do. And Louis, just the team windmill, the team troll. We all love Lou. He'll hate me for that one. But yeah, absolutely fantastic event, guys. You couldn't win any more at all. It's there, it's done, it's good, it's ready to go, rock and roll. So that's your top 8. Interesting one. HS obviously been the biggest difference there at number 3. Not many people expected it. Pinchy and Johnny 5 making top 8. Very proud of them. Well done, guys. Big up yourselves. Big up yourself, Rude Boy, and all that crap. Now we're going to have a look at possible team changes and things like that. I think I need to press this button. Nope, not that one. There we go. So, going back to Jules' post on the I-50 thing, we're going to have a quick look at the team. So, as you can see here, these are the ones that are complete at the moment. That must mean that they're sticking together then, which I didn't know. I'm hoping, unless I don't know anything. So we've got TB, I think that's X-Men. Most respectful, Creepsy and Xavier. That's going to be interesting to see what they do. I know Creeps is dying to get back in the game and dying to get back in the tournament scene, so we'll see what happens. NNB, Revolt, Dexterity, and Slab City, apparently. Should be, generally we saw all these guys, it's going to be good. But we want to talk mainly about all these down here. So, at the moment, HS, in need of one. Rumours say Anima, but no one actually knows because no one said anything yet. So, these are all just vicious rumours or not. But it's going to be interesting to see who actually fills that gap there. Whoever it's going to be is going to have to be a beast and to join the likes of these guys because they are an event-winning team. So let's see what happens. A4D need one. Now this is going to be another interesting one because as we know, I'm not saying we're going to get you boys got carried, but Buck 20 really did have some serious influence on that team, and you know his experience and knowledge really shone through and helped you to get that 4th spot. I don't want to sit here saying you got carried by him because you didn't. You all worked hard and you all deserve it. But whoever you get needs to be as strong as Buck 20, if not better, to move you. Well, I say that, but then again, you only had a couple of a week's practice. So I don't know. Maybe if you go back with Aladan, maybe if you go back with other people, and you get practicing now, you can keep your 4th position, if not move up. So. Johnspun, as far as I'm aware, he's not going to be admin the next one. He doesn't want to. He wants to get back in the game. Johnspun critical. Calpol need one. Powerful players. Could we see the return of Maka, or do you think he'll just dodge again? I think we've all had enough of dodging. I don't know. It's up to Spen. I personally think that this spot quite easily be filled by Slinky. I really do. And you guys could be, with a lot of practice, you could be top 8 challenging, if not top 5. Maybe getting the money bracket, I don't know, maybe not. But definitely, I think if Slinky got on this team here, you could be jumping straight into top 8. See, a lot of practice and a lot of time would be needed to work with everybody and all gel together. But I do think, honestly, that you could be a top 8 team without, you know, I don't know. It's they need one at the moment, so we'll see what happens and see if he does fit in there. Next level, we've got Super Straight Main, Animal need 2. Now, Super Straight Main, never heard of the guy myself, but Jesus Christ, did he play well at I-49. He played absolutely out of his skin. It was a really good player. I've never heard of him, to be fair. And him and Animal were just going all out and just crack on. And they weren't just taking games off people, but they're giving people damn good games. They were really hurting people's feelings. And I don't know, it'll be an interesting one to see who they pick up. I certainly think they could. Without fail, they're going to come top 12, whoever they pick up, because Animal and Super Strayman, they are good players, and they did work well together, and they proved that. Can they push top 8? I don't know. They need to practice and they need to work. They need to get 2 now and get smashed on. So we'll see what happens with those. Stand by for the next level because I think we could be seeing a couple of underdogs for top 8. You know, even 8th place, top 10 maybe. But yeah, stand by for the next level. We'll see what happens with them. So unseeded teams are going to ignore because off that part later. But just if you didn't know, if you're out wondering about teams and who's who at the moment, here are your free agents. Reaction, amazing player from HS. Warlord, I don't know if he got dropped or quit from Deception. Don't know where we'll place Warlord because of how he's been at these lands. I don't know if any people will want to pick him up because he's naturally talented, but he'd have to put a lot of work and effort into his attitude on LAN as not cracking under pressure. Adversary, I'm pretty sure he's quit, but getting the same above with Warlord. We'll have to see what happens with their not saying with their attitudes, but with the pressure on them. They need to focus more, crack down, knuckle down, and get on. Not let people wind them up because they are damn good players. Johnny 5, somebody needs to take Johnny 5 on and help the guy out. He's a good player. He's got focus. He's got the mental game now. He's sorted his attitude out. He knows what top 8 feels like, and he wants more. He wants that top 8 feeling again. But it's whether someone's going to give him that chance and see who's on the market at the moment. I really can't place Johnny at the moment. I've tried doing it myself. I don't know where I'm going to place him. It'd be nice, to be honest, to see ITF all stick together and work at it and push for the money bracket next event. But things happen. Let's see what happens with Johnny and let's see where he ends up. Sith again, amazing player, would be a great Slayer in addition to any team whatsoever with a couple of weeks practice. I think he's off to university. I don't know. Slinky, I've already spoke about Slinky, and a massive player. Just to add to anyone's roster is a great pickup. I'd pick him up tomorrow if I were doing a team. Critical, we can ignore that one. Now Paul, ignore that one. Baines is now FA. Baines is a good player and he puts a lot of hours into the game. Again, he just needs to get himself cracked on with the team, get knuckled down. And I think, to be honest with you, this is probably for the rest of these here from below. You can see who's FA there. Have a look at them all. Let me just move that down a little bit. You see all these FAs there. They're all land-worthy and they all know what they're doing. They're all willing to put the time, practice and effort in. So you need to start looking, guys, for a team now. And you all need to have a look who's who and see what's what. There is no... I'm going to talk... It's a little bit out of talk because I know what's going to happen later on with the teams and things like that. Oh, sorry, my next topic. So you're going to get more of a picture on what I'm saying for the next one. But, yeah, you do need to start looking for teams now, guys. So they're your FAs if you are looking for a team member whatsoever. Interesting to see where this one will end up. Very, very interesting. Let's see what happens, guys. See what happens. So, I'm sorry as well, by the way. I am still not feeling the best, and this is the first time I have done this, so let's see how it goes. And it's also a bit weird with all the things. I've never had to run it all myself from the show and things like that. So, if I bring up this page here and show you this picture here, brace yourself, top 8 will be changing. As you can see, the topic, this is where everyone calls me scumbag sims now. As you can see at the top, topic, do you even top 8, bro? Now, a little bit annoying, I'm seeing lots and lots of people talking about this top 8 that happened at I-49. People need to understand and where their placements were, you know, probably between 12th and 5th. You've got to understand, guys, I-49, there wasn't a massive amount of teams. There really wasn't. There were 19, but there wasn't loads and loads of teams as such to do with who pushed for top 3, if you know what I mean. There wasn't tons and tons of top 3 teams there that are able and ready to go to top 3. There really wasn't. So, to say... I've heard a few people saying, right, I'm proved myself, I've done top 8, I'm done. I'm proved. I'm a top 8 player. La 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 la. That's not how it works. And I need people to heed the warning here because I can see what's going to happen. That people think that because you've now achieved a top 8 placement, that instantly puts you at top 8. It doesn't work like that. You need to be constantly a top 8 player. I-49 I don't think we can count because of the lack of top teams that were there. And that's no offence in any way, but I just don't want people getting this instant thing is, right, I've pulled top 8, I'm done. I'm a top 8 top player in the EU. Because when I-50 comes, I'm afraid that people are going to get dropped on their ass. This is just really, a bit of an eye opener, right? And I wanted to do this, and I want to share this with everybody because I want to see loads of talent coming out of England, stroke the EU, and I want to see people practicing. I want to see people screening. I want to see an event with 30 teams, but I want to also open people's eyes as to what's going to happen later on. You can't, right? So here's us top 8 now. If I move this across to here, there we go. Right. So there's your top 8, as you can see. Now, I've added over here. These are the teams that are going to be attending. Well, hopefully, will attend I-50/EGL11. That didn't come to I-49. So we'll look at Vibe. Vibe again, amazing, amazing people. Crispy crew, a lot of practice. Beck and the boys could do something nasty. X-Men. We'll look at Mo's and that lot. DT12, I'm going to call them DT12 for now, for the simple fact of we'll call it Spence team, DT12. Baxter Blackjack mix. Now, I saw Blackjack say, I can't believe that he posted a tweet out not so long back saying about the people that won events and pulled top 8 who wants the team. Now, I've seen Vard, Blackjack, Baxter talk about coming back for a while now. If they come back, they'd be extremely, extremely good. UP, SG, SBB, KFR and QG. Now, all these teams didn't attend I-49. But I fear that if they did, this is what we could be looking something like. Now, this isn't necessarily correct. This is me just throwing things at you to try and open your eyes a little bit and wake up and smell the roses that you are going to have to get teams together now and you are going to have to practice now if you want to keep top 8 or if you want to challenge for top 4. I think this is an interesting... So let's just have a look. So I've put UP, Vibe, KFR, QG and SSB. I've put these, just thrown them in at top 8. Just because they're the ones that I know of. There'll be plenty more coming as well, I showed, all been well. But let's have a look. I know people are going to get mad at it. I'm just throwing these in just to see what happens, just to show. It's just to give a visual example. So if you put these, just 5 teams in alone, look at what happens. A4D slip out of top 8. ITF, NNB slip out of top 8. Mutiny and Deception, I'd put Deception there because they're no longer... But Mutiny, for instance, if they were at the top 8 before, they've actually gone out of the top 16 into top 24. Now, this isn't actually completely correct in any way, shape or form whatsoever. This is literally me just using something as a visual manner whatsoever, really. But it just shows you what would happen if more teams entered, what could happen to various teams, and how it would change the look of the top 8. And your top 8 placement, like, for instance, if all these teams have entered and everyone beat Mutiny, Mutiny wouldn't see top 8. They wouldn't even see top 16. I'm not picking on Mutiny there, by the way. I'm using any teams whatsoever, so please don't think I'm saying you're crap in any way. But, for instance, if they did that, Mutiny would drop into top 24. Because all these teams could turn up out of nowhere and just start smacking kids left, right and centre. And we could have a completely change around of where people are. I just want to open people's minds a little bit and open their eyes. That if you want to be in that top 8 for I-50 and EGL11, you've got to get a team now, and you've got to be practicing now. It's just an eye-opener, guy. That's all it is. I just need to kind of use this as a visual thing. Do you think Vibe are going to get any less than top 8? Do you think Uprising will get any less than top 8? Do you think Talican and Wise will get any less than top 8? Maybe, I don't know about QG and SSB, but, all these teams here, for definite, those 3 at least are going to be challenging for top 8, and they probably more than likely will get top 8. But I can't... It's just something, it's just a bit of fun more than all. But it is really to try and open this community's eyes to say, right, it is time to start practicing. It is time to get our shit into gear and crack on and move and really do it. I'm sorry I put you now, but I'm literally just using it as a visual aid. That's all it is. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It really is, and people just need to wake up and realise that top 8 at I-49 doesn't mean you're gonna get top 8 from now on, and that you're a top 8 constant player. That's all it is, really. And I don't want you slacking. I don't want people thinking, that's it now, I'm top 8, YOLO swag, let's just run in and crack it. You've got to get a team, you've got to practice now, and if you want to keep that position, you've got to keep going at it. You've really, really got to work together and practice. Practice will make perfect, and this is how it works. So, yeah, I I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I hope it's been a little bit different, to be fair. Um, I didn't really know what to do tonight as such. I thought I'd throw something like this together, give my opinions on the teams that were there, give me opinions of what's been going on. But heed this warning, seriously. If you want to be top 8, just be aware of who could be at that next event. You know, the 1, 2, 3. If those 3 turned up, this I'd say they're without fact definitely going to get pushed in at top 12 without question. Ignore that one for the time being. But you know, 1, what is it? 1, 2, 3 can quite easily do top 8 without fail. So we'll see what happens, guys. Thank you all for watching. I'd like your feedback on the show. I'm going to do this probably once every couple of weeks. I want to thank my sponsors, Prozone, for helping me do this and make it all happen. There is a video being made by Vibe Reflex at the moment. I can't wait to see that one, which will give me a nice video intro. And I also want to thank Matt, I think it's Waldsworth from EGL, who did me the awesome background for the show. Thank you so much. I hope you've all enjoyed it. It's a little bit of fun, a little bit of a laugh more than out. But seriously, guys, get practicing. The storm's coming. The storm of Europeans and new teams is coming. Guys, thank you very much. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you in 2 weeks when I get back from my holidays. Take care.